Hello, let's look at this question here, which was taken from one of the ACSI 2012 question. It's on AMath, and then this is on property of circle. So I'm just going to dive into this question here, alright? So this question is a pretty interesting one. I think for part 2 and 3 is the quite good one. So you're given that the circle passes through 2, 1, and 3 minus 2, and the center of the circle lies on the line y equals negative x. So I think that's pretty okay. But anyway, if you're looking at this circle here, if you were to draw a circle, I'm not sure, like basically you have 2 1 probably is around here, okay, just a guide, and then you have 3 negative 2, so 3 negative 2 will be probably be like around here. So this Q, let's say this is 3 negative 2, alright. 3 negative 2. So just draw anything which help you. Okay, now you're asked to find the perpendicular bisector of PQ. So means this line over here, just draw it, a bisector. So it passes through. Now one thing is you must take note that any bisector will pass through the center as well. Okay, so that's pretty okay. So the first one is to find the equation of bisector. So we find the midpoint first. So this midpoint and the gradient. Okay, so this case here, what I'm going to do is essentially gonna find the gradient of maybe I'll just find the midpoint first lah. Midpoint of PQ is equals to 2 plus 3 over 2, and then 1 minus 2 over 2, where this will give a 5 over 2 and negative 1 over 2. So that's okay. The gradient of PQ will just be 1 negative 2 y1 minus y2, and then make sure your sequence is okay, minus 3. So this would be 3 over, this is negative 3 lah. So it's okay. So now the gradient of bisector, on the other hand, is basically m1 times m2 equals to negative 1, right? So gradient of bisector will just be minus 1 over m, which is actually minus 1, 3, which is 1/3 over here. Okay, so the equation of bisector, I like to use the formula y minus y1 equals to m x minus x1. Okay, so from here, what we're going to get is actually y minus y1, which is actually just passes through the point here. This is your y1 and x1. So here would be negative m, which is 1/3 x minus 5 over 2. Okay, so just key in calculator, what you get is essentially just 1/3 x minus 5 over 6 minus half. Okay, then this will give us a y equals to negative 1/3 x minus 4/3. Alright, this is equation of bisector lah. That's alright. That's the first part. I think that's not a very difficult part. Alright, this is quite a standard question. So what you're asked to find is actually the center. The center is okay. The center, because now this bisector will pass through the center as well. So the center will be here. And lo and behold, the y equals to x, y equals to negative x would also intersect at this point here. The center here. The coordinate of it will pass by both the line equations. So the equation of bisector will be y equals to 1/3 x minus 4 over 3. So this is the center here. Okay, so to find the center actually is quite straightforward. Center will just, to find center, finding center will just means y equals to minus x. Just find the intersection point between these two lines here, and you can actually easily find it. Okay, so basically replace sub 1 into 2 and what you get is actually just minus x equals to 1/3 x minus 1/4, and basically what you get is actually x equals to 1. Okay, x equals to 1, and when x equals to 1, y will be equals to minus 1, which is actually 1, so hence center is just 1 and minus 1. That's pretty okay. That's your center. Now the radius of circle, on the other hand, the radius will just means just take any point lah. You can just take 2, 1 to the center. I think 2, 1 will be okay. So radius will just be I'm taking from P. P is actually 2, 1, 2, 1. So this case here will be square root. The distance between the P and the center will be 1 minus 1 square plus 2 minus 1 square. So this will be 2 square, which is 4, 1. So this is root 5. Okay, this is the radius. Okay, so this is the radius. Okay, great. So now the equation of another circle. So we have done this two already. Equation of another circle when it's reflected about x equals to 3 lines. So this is okay also lah. So what I'm gonna try and understand is basically if now say the circle. Okay, I'm just gonna draw 2 circles. Okay, the center here is actually 1 and minus 1. This is circle number 1, and basically alright, so basically now we're just gonna try and understand how does this work. This over here is root 5. So you reflect about the x equals to x-axis, x equals to 3, which is a vertical line here. So the first thing is finding the reflection center. Alright, so if this is the first center O, this will be O prime. So this is actually 2 units apart because this is x equals to 1, right? So x equals to 1 here. Look at this, x equals to 1. So in other words, if you are finding the reflection about it, this will be a 2 units over here as well. So that's not too bad. So this would be just adding a 2 to 3, which is actually 5, negative 1. Alright, and this circle has got the same radius. So same radius of root 5. Okay, so the reflected circle center, part 3, the reflected center of circle will just be 5 and negative 1. Alright, and then basically if you want to find the equation of circle, equation of the circle, another circle, C circle, would just be x minus 5 square plus y minus 1 square equals to root 5 square. The radius obviously is the same as the previous one, is root 5. So from here, what we get is actually just x minus 5 y plus 1 square equals to 5. That's how you get the last part. Okay, so that's how you solve this question proficiently. Any question or comments, please do leave it in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.